Hey guys, it's Matt Johnson with Viral Marketing, and I'm excited to welcome you to this is the latest edition of Real Estate Uncensored with Greg McDaniel, and I'm your co-host. So, Greg, how's it going today?
And Matt, dude, I'm doing outstanding. What about you, Brody? We are
Oh,
talking off air, and you're living the dream right now, aren't you?
that's right. Living the dream in Omaha, Nebraska. Doesn't
Hey,
get
dude,
any better
Omaha,
than that.
Nebraska, you guys got the best steaks ever. So yeah, you are living the dream.
That's right. Steaks and football. That's what we have.
Well, and you got real estate. What we're going to talk about today, right?
That's right. So we're talking luxury real estate. So scripts, objection handlers. We're talking about your experience in the luxury market. So we're going to have a lot of fun and get into some good stuff. So for anybody that's watching, this is live, and we do these live for a reason. That's because we want your questions. So I'm going to be keeping my eye out on the Google Plus page while we go, and you can submit your questions either through the Q&A app that's on the Google Plus, like right here on this video, or on the Google Plus page itself. You can just post them as comments, and I'll keep an eye on that and bring them to Greg and get them answered. So let's kick things off. So Greg, you have kind of a unique story. I don't know if everybody knows it, but just share with us a little bit how you got into kind of door knocking expireds and decided to get into, not expireds, but luxury listings right off the bat, and why you decided to go after that market and how you positioned yourself to do that.
Okay, well, for those of you who don't know my backstory, I came out of college. I have no direction. I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now, fat, hairy, and lazy. Let's put it that way. I got pulled out of college after 2 years because I got a master's degree, a doctorate, and a PhD in drinking, girls, and drugs. I was a complete disaster. I came back to Northern California, kicking and screaming, and I got into real estate after working in a warehouse. And my dad has been a real estate broker for 43 years this year. So he's like, come try it with me. Come try it with me. And we're in a luxury market. We're in a high end market here. And I'm like, I don't want to do this job. This is what you do. This is boring stuff. So, well, 15 years later, here I am. I got into it, and when I first started doing real estate, um, I had a beer buckle. A belt buckle that had a beer bottle opener on it, which, by the way, does not work. I would wear flip flops, sandals. I was completely, disrespectful. I fought. I was, headstrong. I thought I knew everything, and I knew absolutely nothing. So my father's like, Greg, you're not touching a client. You're going to be door knocking for the next year. And so, grudgingly, I went out in the doors. I did doors for a year long, and I got really good at doors, because if you do it 5 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're gonna start learning how to speak with people. And that's how I got into real estate. A funny story is that I door knocked for a year. I did both of the cities that we work in, Alamo, Danville, here in Northern Cal. And it was on a kind of a rainy day, and I was walking up this hill, and all of a sudden I felt this wetness in my feet. And it had been raining, and the water coming down the hill I'd worn holes in the bottom of my shoes, and my shoes were filling up with water. And I picked up my phone and I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, my shoes are filling up with water and I'm done. This sucks. He started laughing at me. He's like, okay, come on in. Let's get you working with clients. And so that's my beginning. I didn't really want to do it. I was made to do it, but it's been a tremendous baseline for my coaching, my training, my current real estate. Everything else is based around, one, hard work, and two, doing things that other people won't or cannot do, because I want what they don't. I want something that they want, but I'm willing to do what they're not willing to do it. So that's what Matt and I are going to do. We're going to bring that kind of stuff to you, but we're going to take the 15 years of me being in the business, going through trials and tribulations. We're going to bring it to you guys in a condensed format, so you can then go immediately from this hangout or any of the other hangouts we do, take it and put it into your business today and start seeing results.
Yeah.
So
So let's get into it. We got a lot of different things and some different like tips and strategies that we'll get into like later in the show. But for now, let's go through, just pull from your experience a little bit. And what are some of the hard lessons that you learned, door knocking and talking with luxury, kind of clientele?
not everybody's going to like you, but on the other hand, you're going to find some of the nicest, sweetest, most gentle-hearted people out there that will bring you into their homes. They'll show you around. You'll like, I've traveled the world with one guy. His name is Marty McCarty. We met him door knocking. My dad did when he first started here, and we have literally become family friends. I have gone all over Europe with him. I watched his family grow up. It's just one of those things you can just become. It becomes a connection point for people. So the trials that I've learned is that when you go to the front doors and you're sitting there and you're nervous as all heck, what to say. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What if they hate me? Take a breath, people. Just breathe. It's just another human being on the other side of that door. I don't care if you're door knocking the slums or if you're door knocking Beverly Hills or anything, anywhere in between. It's just a human being. And if you go there and you teach them, hey, I'm not here to bother you. I'm here to give you information. As soon as you get that through your mind, instead of trying to sell, you'll start seeing success. Because people, when sales is not sales. Sales is building a relationship. Sales is asking questions. And if you know the right questions, we're going to teach you some of those questions. I was doing a lot of research last night, making sure I brought enough value to you guys. But the questions we're going to teach you are going to change your careers. So, I mean, some of the funny stories out there, door knocking. I've had doors slammed so hard I honestly thought the frames were going to come off. I had one guy in a wheelchair had a gun in his lap, and he got so mad he chased me down the walkway with a gun in his lap. I said, "Goodbye, sir. Sorry for bothering you."
You do look threatening.
Hey, I am threatening. It's just awesome. I had an interior designer invite me in. She showed me her entire house. Then she tried to hook me up with all of her daughter's friends. And I'm like, no, ma'am, thank you very much, but I appreciate it. But yeah, it's just people are amazing out there. But you're not going to have that much trouble out there. You're going to have the bad apple, but you're going to have more good apples than bad apples. But do you want to talk about scripts? You want to kind of walk through a few scripts together, or what do you want to do, Matt?
Yeah. There was and just a quick note on that point about the mentality of when you knock on the door. So I heard something interesting. I did a live interview with Jay Kinder, which a lot of people may know. So he did, at one point, his best year was 531 transactions sold. I mean, he's done everything you can imagine in the real estate business, including exiting his real estate business and running a brokerage and all this stuff. So he said the most amazing thing is like, dude, I hate sales. I am the worst salesman. All I want to do is just help people.
Mm-hmm.
That's that mental shift. And if you can make that, and if you spend time, if you really have trouble getting to the door because of that, because you feel like you're a taker and not a giver, it really comes down to making sure that you're confident in what you do and the service that you can provide. So when you step up to the door that you're not bothering them, you're offering something of value.
You really are, and that's why people, we always laugh about what's the hardest door to ever go through, and I always say it's your car door. As soon as you get out of your car door, you're going to be fine, and you're going to get up there, because when you door knock and you, like you said, Matt, and you bring value, real estate agents don't get paid to sell homes. We get paid to solve problems. That's what we get paid to do, and that's bringing value to somebody. I was listening to Todd Duncan. He's on the New Success magazine. Fantastic sales guy. He's awesome. But he was talking about the fact that once you ask enough questions and you build a bigger relationship with them, and you understand that you're there to help them, they're going to start listening to you, because they now get the energy and the understanding that you're not a taker, you're a giver.
Mm-hmm.
And all sales, like you said, is giving. And that's why you and I are in it. That's why I love doing it. It's because I get to help people. I got to close a deal. I'm closing today, actually. Should get the notification here in a few minutes. But it was the worst transaction I've ever been through in my entire life. It was an absolute, utter, complete, total, without a doubt, nightmare. And do you think there's any space in there for flexibility?
I think you ran out of adjectives.
I actually did. But I got to see a young family that got completely displaced, but I got to work the problem. I got to figure it out. I got to perfect my craft. I got to get them into their new home. It took me down. I got sick over the stress, no joke, for 2 weeks, but I solved the problem. Yeah. And that's why you have to fight through this stuff. And that's why you guys are going to get some of the best scripts, techniques, styles, understandings here today.
Yeah. So let's get into that a little bit. So first of all, do you want to deal with a little bit on the credibility, especially for guys like you that started going after that market when you were young? So is there anything that really helps you kind of build your credibility and be confident in yourself when you're approaching that type of client as a young kind of up and coming agent?
You know what? My biggest credibility is the fact, well, it was my father. I had a leg up on that one. But let's say you don't have that luxury like I did. It's for you to build credibility, you need to get into the marketplace, and you need to be like the people you're going to be around. I tell a lot of people, dress like your clients dress. So if you're in Florida and you wear Tommy Bahama shirts and shorts and flip-flops, dress like that. I was door knocking out there a couple of years ago, teaching a team of brokers how to do it, and they laughed at me because I was in a shirt, a tie, dress slacks, and shoes, and they're like, "You're going to go out like that? Seriously?" I got asked by the first door if I was related to any religious organizations, and I said, "No, no, no, ma'am. I'm just a real estate agent." And so I learned very quickly. Here in my marketplace, I wear custom dress shirts, custom jeans, and nice shoes because this is what my demographic wears. So if you're going to get into the luxury marketplace, you need to bring luxury to them. So if they're wearing suits, you wear a suit. If they're wearing nice dresses and nice blouses, you wear nice dresses, nice blouses. That's going to start to bring you credibility. But you've got to understand the market, not just the house. You need to know the neighborhood and the neighbors. All right. If you're brand new in this, go to the top producers in their luxury markets, go and actually ask them to hold the open houses, then go door knock around, meet the neighbors, know them by name. So when the buyers come in, they're like, "Oh yeah. So do you know Betty around the corner? She's the sweetest woman. So sorry her husband just passed away the other month." They're like, "Yeah, it was just so sad," because you don't have to actually be there or have been around that marketplace for 30 years. You just have to have the knowledge about it. Also, what's trending? Where are the homes selling? Get a Google map or get another mapping system. Upload in from your system the active, pending, and sold. Go back a couple of years. Track in the marketplace what's going on. What type of product is selling? What attributes of the homes that are on the higher end are the more desirable by the buyers? Where are the buyers coming from? Also, high-end luxury buyers, guys, as you get into this whole organization, this whole group, not organization, what am I saying, organization? This whole group of luxury people, they're very busy. They want privacy. So understand that they don't want to see every home on the market. Zero it down for them, show them a couple homes, get them into contract, let them move on with their lives. But that's how you show credibility. You show them respect. And Matt, you and I know, like with any kind of anything. I mean, as soon as you show respect to someone and say, "You know what, Matt, I understand that you're a high ranking CEO. You got a lot of things going on. Here's how do you want to be spoken to and communicated with?" "Well, Greg, I want just text me because that's all I look at when I'm in meetings." "Not a problem. Here's a list of 5 homes. We'll pick you up at this time at this location." That's how you build credibility, is you speak to them and you're around them and you're like them.
Yeah, and it's I heard another guy. He was actually it was Dr. Abelson. Who's been teaching on the disc profile for about, I don't know, 35 years, about as long as your dad's been in the business. So he's been teaching about the disc profile, and he talks about there was a great book that came out here recently that another person wrote, kind of building on this theme of the platinum rule. Remember, the gold rule is do unto others what you'd have them do to you.
Right.
The platinum rule is do unto others how they would like it to be done to them. So
yes,
you have to go in and understand kind of who you're dealing with, and the luxury client or the luxury homeowner. If you're trying to go after listings, they are going to be busy. They're going to tend to be more of the business owners, CEOs, high level executives, people like that. So not just an issue of showing respect, but showing the specific type of respect and honor for their time that they're looking for will earn you that respect back, because they go, okay, this is someone that like speaks my language. They understand my priorities in life. They understand that time is more valuable than money at this point in my life. There's little things like that just the more you get around that clientele and that level of people, you'll pick up these things that if you're outside that world, you'd never even know. And you just have to get around it. And the more you get around, if you don't already have access to that in a social circle environment, then you have to go door knock or do some of the other things we're going to talk about to get into that environment to even pick up on those cues.
Very true. Also, if you don't, let's say, I'm sure people are watching this right now going, "Dude, I am never freaking going door knocking, flat out." Well, that's fine if you don't want to do it, but I kind of discourage you from not doing it. I want you to get out there. It's knowing your market, getting to know the people. But let's say you broke a toe and you can't do it right now or whatever else. Well, why don't you do social networking? Go to charity events, get involved in organizations around town that the upper class roll in. Go to country club events. Start getting and being seen in these different scenarios. Also, like Matt said, learn the DISC, the DISC profile, then research the luxury seller. Google them. right? Figure out who they are. What company are they with? What are their positions? Try to understand their personality and then tailor your listing presentation to that personality type because you're going to be speaking their language. Now, if you're saying, great, Greg, that's awesome. Matt, you guys are awesome. Well, what if I don't have anything to wear? What if I just have old stuff and I'm just getting into this business, but I see all this money over here? Here's a little tip I heard from another Google Hangout the other day. A woman's out of Arizona, a very successful woman. She started out not with a lot of money, but what she did, go down to secondhand stores, guys. There's a lot of them. Go pick up, some nice skirts, dresses, blouses, suits, pants, shoes, whatever at these different stores. I know for a fact because we run a charity thing here every year where it's called Dump Your Junk and Spring Cleaning. People have to dump a lot of stuff out and to throw away their junk. Dude, I got to tell you, the clothing that's dropped off at that event is astounding. It's like Gucci, Prada, high-end stuff. And I'm like, shoot, man, if I was a chick, I'd take that. I didn't because it was going towards a battered women's shelter. Naturally, I would never steal from them. The point is go. There are so many different ways you guys can go out there. Keep yourself looking good and getting involved in these organizations. So pick something you want to go do. Think about it right now. Now go call them after this webinar and get involved in the next event.
Yeah. Now let's get into scripting a little bit, and maybe some objection handlers. So let's kind of walk us through the progression. So you're door knocking, you're in your target market. If you want to back up a little bit, actually, you mentioned something here when we were talking about the content for today. You mentioned the concept of a feeder market. Let's go into that first, and then we'll get into some scripts and different things like that. So what is a feeder market, and how can that really help you approach like a luxury and kind of break into that environment?
Okay, let's look at this. So a feeder market is exactly what it sounds like. It feeds into the luxury market. So typically when I talk to my clients, I tell them when they start farming, a low, middle, and high marketplace. You want to find that middle, that marketplace, that almost luxury market, that those people are just dying to get up to that luxury area. Start working that area, start working them for buyers. Okay, go door knocking for buyers. Hi, hey Matt, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm with J. Rockcliffe Realtors here in town. I don't know if you guys are thinking about making a move, but there's a beautiful new home in Blackhawk is a high-end luxury market country club here in the area. I'll just use that as an example. There's a beautiful new listing that just came on for about $2.9 million in Blackhawk, and I didn't know if you or anyone you might know might be thinking about making a move up to Blackhawk. See, you're door knocking on the reverse. You're trying to pull these people. You're trying to suck them in to working with you to work into those upper areas. Because to work with a luxury seller, it's going to cost you a lot of money. To work with a luxury buyer, you need to know the market. You need to be aggressive, and you don't need to be full of marketing pieces yet. You just need to know where they're going. So find out where the people are coming from, and that's pretty easy to track. I mean, you can just ask around and kind of figure. You'll just watch it kind of transpire. Here, another area, Diablo Country Club is another high-end country club, West Side Alamo. So let's see, a lot of people want to go from Danville to West Side Alamo. Well, we know that's a feeder market into that eventually at some point. So you go work that other market to bring them in, but study your high-end luxury. Try to door knock that area as well to get pocket listings. So you can go, hey, Matt, this is who I am, where I'm from. Hey, I don't know if you're thinking about moving, but I have this. And it's a pocket listing and blah, 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 da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not thinking of making a move, pass on the word to anyone that might be. It's just a reverse way of picking up clients. That's all. And I don't see a lot of people doing it. So you'll probably be the only person on the street that's saying the same thing, because every single person that's out there is going, hi, my name is Greg McDaniel from J. Rockcliffe Realtors. And I just want to know, Matt, if you're thinking about selling your home. No, Greg, piss off. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. But if it goes, I didn't know if you're thinking about buying. What kind of buying? Do you want to do buying for investment, buying a new property? What are you looking for? Just go out there and ask them.
Well, then the good point about that too is it's aspirational. So you're talking about what's pulling them out of where they're at, not, hey, would you like to go through the necessary evil of keeping your house immaculately clean for the next 3 months while I get people to traipse through your home?
Let me torment you and your family. Right. If there's a speck of dust on that counter, no one's going to buy.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, you're talking about going in and with the approach of, hey, here's something that you do want. Here's a carrot on the end of the stick, whether it's this listing or are you looking to move up into X neighborhood, and then you're presenting something of value, which is your knowledge, and you have maybe a specific home that's really fantastic that will grab people's attention. Doesn't have to be your listing. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that if it was your listing, you should be doing, or you should have an agent kind of doing this for you. But you can be that person. If you're breaking in, you can go to another agent, a luxury agent, and say, look, you're probably not doing this. You're probably not door knocking your, recent listings. I will do that for you. If in exchange, I get to work with anybody that isn't directly interested in your listing. Let's say they're initially interested and they find out it doesn't work for them. They want to see some other houses. I can show that, and then I'll keep the commission on that, but I'll advertise your listings for you for free.
Right. You pick up the buy side. Yeah,
you pick up the buy side. So there's no reason really that someone, if you have a good, working relationship and you have a good reputation, and that someone that can give good service, good reputation in their office, there's no reason you can't find somebody to partner up with that. So you don't have to have any listings, any clients, any inventory, nothing. You can literally go out and just start from scratch and do that.
Yeah, go to the top producers in the office, introduce yourself, say, hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm a new agent here in the office. Can I take you out to a cup of coffee? I would love to talk to you about how I would love to run some of your open houses, give you a couple of Sundays off. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. If someone actually did that to me and I didn't have enough people, I'd be like, yep, not a problem. Come on, you're aggressive. I love that. But you said something earlier, Matt, about selling the dream. And that triggered a remembrance of another audio recording I was listening to, again, on Success Magazine. If you can't tell by now, guys, I'm obsessed with that magazine, and the audio recordings. They're stinking awesome. But they were talking about the guy who was the head salesman for the Galactic, SpaceX or whatever it is, about getting people into space, the normal human beings.
Was it the X Prize?
Branson's thing.
Okay.
Bronson's thing. But this guy, now these tickets cost about $250,000 each ticket. And he was able to sell the dream of being an astronaut and going into space. And we're not talking billionaires and multimillionaires. We're talking like upper middle class people that are paying $250 because they were selling the dream of being a part of an exclusive group. So you could sell the dream of the middle group of being in the upper group, and if you can solve the problem, give them a solution on how to get there. I don't make enough money. Well, here are some creative financing ideas. Or did you know that there's 300 financing options out there for first-time buyers? Maybe your kids or someone you know, maybe they've been renting their entire lives. There's just different ways of going about it. There's also other programs out there that my lender has used that a lender will take a interest in the property and give you more money down so you can afford a larger home. There's a ton of stuff out there to solve the problems for the people. That is all you have to do, and sell the dream. So I just want to get back to that. Anyways, I kind of went the opposite direction, as always.
All right. So meat and potatoes, scripts.
Okay, meat and potatoes here. The easiest way to go out and do door knocking or do cold calling or to do anything cold outbound, a lot of people, they'll call around the neighborhood and say, hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm with J. Rockcliffe Realtors. And have you been thinking about making a move? No, slam. Okay, that was fun. Or click. The best way to do a call or do a door is to invite them to something. So maybe invite them to an open house that you're doing. Hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm with J. Rockcliffe Realtors. I just want to like to invite you today to an open house we're doing on Sunday from 1 to 4, but we're going to be doing an exclusive open house just for the neighbors from 12 to 1. It's going to be catered, and we'd love to see if you guys would come on by. Even if they can't make it, it's the invitation aspect that they love. Because how many parties have you guys been invited to that you couldn't go to, but you really wanted to go to? And you're like, you know what? I'm going to do this next time. Because everybody wants to be invited to something. Nobody wants to be left out. Because imagine if all the rest of the neighbors got invited, but that person got left out. They're not going to have a very positive view of you. They're going to be like, what is wrong with you? Why didn't you invite me? What's wrong with me? So that's one idea. Also, show success. This is a technique that I'm using right now, and I get ridiculous responses from this thing. And it's so mind-numbingly simple. So I use a system called Mojo Cells, and Mojo Solutions, a triple line dialer, but you can do this by hand. It doesn't matter. Take an area, either door knock or cold call around it, but it's the just sold, and it doesn't have to be your listing again, because all you say is like, hi, my name is Greg McDaniel, J. Rockcliffe Realtors. The reason I'm calling today is that your neighbor over at 123 Main Street just sold a few days ago, and they sold for $75,000 over their listing price, and they sold in 5 days. So, you know what? I know there's multiple offers. Only one person can get the house, right? So it means that there's probably a bunch of other buyers that are looking for a home. Now, would you guys would you guys consider becoming a seller if we could get, a high price for you? And a lot of people, some of them say, no, we're not doing anything. But there are those people that I've been getting, it's almost one a day. Either I get them on the phone or they will call me back and be like, Greg, it's pretty serendipitous that you called us. We were just talking about that. I'm like, no kidding. We should probably sit down. And because the old saying is that real estate's like grapes. They come in clusters. So if you know that, chase the clusters, guys. Don't be all helter-skelter all over the place. Go where the business is. Because when Bob and Sue sell, Steve and Jane are going to be like, oh, they sold for that? Well, honey, look at what we have. We get a lot more. And you leave a message for them, you're off and running. Okay, so we have the invitations. We have the just solds. Now let's talk about just listeds. Why don't we talk about do the same exact script, guys, but for just listeds? Go out and door knock. Hey, this house is coming on the market. No, it's not mine, but I am looking to get some more listings. That I know this neighborhood's going to explode, or whatever you want, something along those lines. But those are the areas where you're going to see the easiest and fastest success. Now you're probably going, well, Greg, I'm not going to door knock in $1 million neighborhood. Those people are not going to talk to me. They're probably eating caviar, drinking champagne in the back, or on their 100,000 foot yacht or something like that. But I can guarantee you one thing, that right outside that door is, you can't even buy anything for under $1 million. All right. And these are single level ranch homes. These are not some palatially large, estate on, 100 acres. Yeah. But the responses you get from people, if you go out there with the service attitude, is respect. They will respect your time if you go out there and just say hi. Hi, my name is Greg. I'm from this brokerage, and this is why I'm on your front porch. That's it. It's not rocket science. It's just doing it. That's all there is to do it. And when they say, by the way, let's talk about this. Something else. Shoot, I don't have one with me. Another thing you can do is make sure that you don't waste your handout. And yes, always bring something and always leave something on the porch. Always. But you have two sides to a piece of paper, guys. One side of the paper, you should probably put something about why you're out there, the house sold or whatever else. On the other side, maybe put market stats, or go talk to a local restaurant and get a coupon or a discount or something that you can negotiate with them. And I'll tell you how to do that in a second. But go out there and put that on the other side, because that's a conversation starter as well. Because if Matt and I are having a conversation and all of a sudden it's kind of going south a little bit on us, well, I just turn it over and go like, Matt, thank you for your time. Here is a discount for whatever. Like, here, this is a version of this. I have a friend of mine who is a chiropractor. Oh, sorry, here you go. And this is, his wife is a title rep with us. This is a $50 coupon, which I get this for free. And but the cool thing is, it's for both either getting an adjustment or a massage. Okay. And it's like, hey, Matt, I know, thank you for taking the time. Here's a $50 gift card just for taking the time.
Nice.
That wins people.
Yeah. And it's a perfect gift for that market too.
It is. And you go to your Chamber of Commerce, go figure out what the new businesses are in town. Go talk to them and say, hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. Well, you're not going to be Greg McDaniel naturally, but you know what I mean. Hi, this is who I am. I'm from this brokerage and I want to help you grow your business. What kind of discount or coupon can you guys give me so I can then take it out to my database? Mm-hmm. I will pay for all the printing and all the distribution. All you have to do is honor it. Yeah. And no one has ever said no to me. But
very cool.
So yeah, hopefully, again, I took a hard left on us.
All right. Well, this is one thing I was curious about, and I know I'm springing this on you, but
you do that a lot.
Well, that's because you handle it with a phone.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Let's talk about, let's say you get your first luxury listing, right? Mm-hmm. You're in the situation where you've done as much homework as you can. You feel like you priced the home correctly, but it's not moving. You need to ask for price reduction. Every new agent has gone through this. They're dreading it because it sounds, like they took the listing and kind of told them what they wanted to hear, and then now they're kind of springing this on them.
Right.
So what's your approach, and what can you say as an agent to a luxury client where you don't necessarily have the strict, the comps to always back you up? Literally all you have is just the observable opinion of buyers coming through and not responding and not making an offer.
Twofold. One, this is all in your setup, guys. This is in your listing presentation. You write it in your listing agreement. If the home does not sell within 14 days, or we're under contract within 14 days, we take another look at the market, reassess where our placement is, and then readjust our price as a team. Always use the word team and together and us, because that's involving them into it. So that's setting them up. Tell them, look, guys, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know exactly what it's going to sell for. I can go off what I have in front of us in regards to what the market is speaking, what the market is saying, what the stats are. But this market can shift on us like it did in 2007, like that. So not saying that it will, I'm just saying it might. So let's work together. And if it doesn't, if it doesn't sell, then let's come together and figure out another price. And then when you go back out there, I mean, it's your job to solve the problem, to sell the home. So get out there, do doors, do calls, do networking. When people come through the open house, have a survey, not a long one, just like a couple of questions, like what was your favorite part of the home? How did you find out about us? What do you think of the price? Something simple like that. Because then you can go back, and because your seller's like, you suck. You can't sell anything, man. Why can't you sell this house? I thought you could do this. You're like, listen, I'm doing my best. And hear what the buyers are saying in their own words. Yep. It's not me. This is what the buyers, this is what what the next owner of this home is thinking right now, because there are other choices out there. And it's just having the honest conversation with the seller, going, look, I'm not trying to take money out of your pocket. I want to get this home sold just like you do. I just want to help you guys get the highest amount of money for you, but we've got to price it correctly so we can get the first buyer, because buyers generally cycle out about every 14 days. You know what? Let's get that first buyer. Let's attract them. Mm-hmm. And also ask them what they need to do. So Matt, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're getting a job transfer to San Diego, and selling this home is critical for you to make the move. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. What's the most important thing for you? Is getting the highest price more important, or getting it sold faster to get you out there?
I would say getting it sold faster, although I don't want to let it go for less than what it's worth.
Absolutely. I would never let it go for less than what it's worth. Actually, Matt, funny little thing, I've never seen a home sell for less than its value. Because that's the honest to God truth, isn't it? Because something is only worth what a willing and able buyer is going to pay for it. So you're not lying at all to these people. But the questions that I'm asking, so Matt, if I understand you correctly, Matt, walk me through this just so I understand. See, I'm getting them to work with me in this conversation, because if I talk at them, then it's not going to be more as effective as if I get them involved. As soon as I know what their want, need, and desire is, then I can serve their needs to that end. Like we have a client right now. He has 2 houses down in Texas. All his family's down there. He and his wife are moving. He's lived in the house forever. He's going to clear a significant amount of money when he sells. He told us what his bottom line is. And so we did a price reduction down to it. He's going to net a significant amount. He's moving to Texas. He just wants to get out and go to Texas, man. He wanted to play the market, see if he get a higher price. We didn't. We dropped the price. Boom, gone. So that's because we asked him, hey, Mr. Seller, what is your end objective? I just want to get to Texas. Okay. Not a problem. This is what we need to do. Here are the 3 different pricing structures that I believe we should do, because you can give them 3 different pricing structures as well. We can fire sell it at this price. We can market sell it at this price, or we can do, the needle in the haystack up here, the ultra thin air of the highest price ever sold in the entire world here. Most people want to do average, market at market value, because it's standard and it's reasonable. But other people are just like, dude, just get rid of this thinking thing. But give them the option. Most agents say, well, with my years of experience, I think the home is worth blah, 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 blah. But if there's options, they make their own choice. Therefore, you go back to them, they're like, well, why didn't it sell, Greg? You're supposed to be the expert in this area. Yes, and we made a decision as a team to go after this price, did we not?
Mhm.
So I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably, and a lot of things do come down to that, which is setting the expectations up front. I think that's probably the biggest key is when you start taking your first listings in that market to have the confidence to set those expectations and giving them three options. That's probably the best tip I've ever heard on that, other than just maybe setting the expectation that after X amount of days, we're going to look at the price. That, I mean, that's common sense. A lot of people do that, but giving them those three options and telling them up front, look, if you want to sell for this, that means you're automatically limiting yourself to the needle in the haystack. Maybe we find it, maybe we don't, but most likely, you're still going after a needle in a haystack, and you have to recognize that up front. If they still list with you,
Mm-hmm.
and then it doesn't sell in 2 or 3 weeks, then you can go back and you can come back to what you've said before, and it only reinforces that you're still the expert and you told them exactly what might happen. So this is no surprise. It doesn't hurt your credibility. It doesn't hurt your knowledge of the market or anything like that. I think that's setting it up really nicely. So that's great.
And here's some research I did yesterday on this. These are questions to close the seller. Now, these are 4 different questions. And it's a really interesting. I was listening to this audio yesterday, and I'm like, that's some of the most amazing stuff ever. So here they are. Here are the 4 questions. If you guys are taking notes. Question number 1: what happens if we do sell, or what happens if we do buy this home? Right? I would ask that to you, Matt. Okay, there's going to be multiple offers on this home. What's going to happen if we do buy this home?
What's going to happen if we buy this? I'm talking about as I'm the buyer.
Yeah, you're the buyer. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I would have to. I would sell my other home, put it up on the market immediately, and try to get out here as quickly as possible.
Okay, fantastic. So what I did there is I allowed you to understand the process. Like, well, if I do buy this, I'm gonna get moving. I don't have to look at any more houses. Okay, yeah, okay. That's what's going to take place. My kids are going to get in this great school district. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Question number 2, Matt. What happens if we don't buy this home? Or we don't sell this home, whatever.
Well, that's, my world falls apart, and I'll most likely throw myself off a bridge.
My wife's going to divorce me, the kids are going to disinherit me, and my fortune from my family is going to be gone in the wind.
That's right. A stray cat will claw my eyes out, and I'll, it's just going to be horrible.
It's like we just wrote a country song. We lost everything. Okay, so the question is, what happens if you don't? Now, that's going to put the thought in their mind of like, okay, so we have this offer. We're sellers. So we have this offer. What if we don't sell it to them? Then we have to keep having showings. We have to keep keeping the house clean. We have to keep blah 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 blah. This is just psychological stuff. You're just letting them come up with this with the answers. Now the next 2 questions, are some of my favorites. Matt, answer this one. Now this is kind of fun. What won't happen if you do buy the home?
Well, if I buy the home, I know my other home will close. I won't have 2 house payments to make. I know I can sell it. It's not going to be that big of an issue. I'll be able to move, and I'll at least know that I have a place that I'm coming here. I won't have to get a rental to hold me over in order to get here for my job without a permanent residence. I won't have to put anything in storage. So, that would be great if we can just make that offer and I don't have to go through any of that.
And you won't have to keep on looking at houses every day with me. And you won't have to keep watching the market. And you won't have to keep, hearing from your wife or, that she found the perfect house on Zillow, but then the home was already sold, and making her frustrated and, turning your sex life into hell. All these horrible things happen. Okay, so here.
Yeah, I got to make sure you get that in there.
Okay, I got to stop. Okay.
What's the last question?
Fourth question. It's pretty. You probably know what it's gonna be. So it's what won't happen if you don't sell the home or you don't buy the home.
Well, if we don't buy the home, and worst case scenario is we just can't find the right place, and we can't find a good rental to hold us over, and it jeopardizes the job that I'm taking.
Exactly. So see, these 4 questions are super powerful based upon the fact, and a lot of people will do these questions in this order. So Matt, I'm going to have 4 questions for you really quickly. What happens if we do buy the home? Number 2, what happens if we don't buy the home? See, you can put them together. You can use one, you can use two, you can use all four, three, whatever it takes for that scenario to get that individual to make that move that's appropriate for their lifestyle. Again, we're here to solve problems. We're not here. You don't want to walk around with commission breath and be like, oh my God, please buy the home. You have to be a professional. You have to educate and you have to inform these people, and you have to let them come to their own conclusions based upon their want, needs, and desires in their life. That's the most important thing.
Excellent.
I hope that answered some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great way to bring things to a close and really kind of have them draw their own conclusions and come to the conclusion that you're leading them to without them feeling like you're just trying to beat them over the head with it. So yeah, it's great. So let's talk about a little bit about what's working for selling luxury real estate right now. And I'll go into some of the things that I'm noticing from the clients that we work with. And Greg, you can tell me what's working in the Bay Area and from some of the contacts that you know out there in California. So a couple of things I wanted to go into real quick is the importance of high-end videography, photography, and then Greg, as you pointed out, the aerial drone footage. All these things are getting more and more important, and people are doing more of the searching online. And especially in the luxury market, so many of the buyers are coming from either out of town or overseas even, especially cash buyers from China, India, places like that. So talk to me a little bit about what your team does for photography, videography, and see if there's any lessons people can take away from that.
Sure. A lot of people think, hey, well, if I get $1 million listing or I get a 2 million or 10 million, or whatever else it is, keep in mind, these people, they have money. They're used to high quality. So you need to produce the high quality. So it's very important. We have a professional photographer. His name is Dean. His company is called All Access. A little plug for you, bud. But he's an amazing guy. He comes in, he'll shoot the whole home in like 5 or 10 minutes. He goes super fast, but his quality is amazing. Then he gives us high quality, full size brochures, 4-color, all gloss, and we do the little write up when we get it out the door. That is very important to be giving out at open houses. Now you give out the paper stuff to the brokers, you give out the high quality stuff to the buyers, because everyone knows that a brochure is not going to sell the house, right? But it's an image and a status of the quality of the home and of the agent and of the sellers. So you want to portray that high level. You want to portray your brand in a high level. I respect a phenomenal agent in our Walnut Creek branch with our company, and she exudes, class and quality and luxury, but she doesn't rub it in your face. And I was talking to her the other day, and she showed me her brochure that she hands out, and I was utterly dumbfounded how nice this was. I wanted to list with her. This thing was thicker paper. It was congruent with colors and images and information. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't like cluttering the whole thing, but it got the information that she was a team. She had a lot of people supporting her. She's done a lot of business, and it was excellent. And I asked her if I could copy it, and she said, absolutely. Here's my writer. Here's everything. And I'm like, thank you so much. So you have to have something that's going to be, high end, like we were talking about for brochures and photography. So let's break into video real quick. The crude version is this: your little iPhone or Android or whatever else, because everybody's got a high resolution camera here, and video has climbed well over 5,000% in attractiveness. If you check your Facebook page, look how many videos are there. Almost nobody just does text. It's all videos, and videos are 12 times more likely to be shared on social media. But what you do with video, if you can get your hands on a professional photographer or someone like that, shoot a quick video of the house. We talked, Matt, last time about smart lavs. You can plug them in there. It's a lavalier microphone, the ones you clip on your chest, and you can plug it directly into your phone, and you can walk through the home shooting a video, talking about the property. You can go out and buy a steady cam handle for like $50 or $150. Now I'll keep it steady as you go through. So if you have a high-end microphone clipped to you, so you get quality audio with a steady cam showing the home as you move through the home, talking about it, that's going to bring more value, because then you can take that and you can then do some post editing in GarageBand or in any other software, and then you can give it to your seller and say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here's a video I made. Also, here are all the photos of your home. If you'd like to share that on your social media sites to get any of your friends and family, letting them know that what we're doing, that'd be fantastic. But then go out and share it out on all your social media platforms. Excuse me. Also, I take this and I reverse it around and I stand in front of the home and I, move it, not this fast, but I talk about the upcoming property that we're going to be bringing on, all its attributes. We're going to have a Sunday open house. We're going to have a broker's tour on Thursday, so on and so forth. And I post that out directly from my phone a couple of days ahead of time. Wildly successful. I generally get a tremendous response of people hitting me back on my Facebook post almost immediately going, oh my God, I got a buyer for this. Can I get in before, hey, Greg, can you show it to me? Or, whatever, whatever happens. But those are some easy to do, basically free, because we all have one of these things, at least, within 3 feet of us at all times.
Mm-hmm.
That you can do and to impress your seller. So you can tell them, hey, Mr. Matt, so thankful that we're going to be able to work together. This is how we're going to market it. And you're going to tell them all your marketing things. And you're going to say, look, we're going to do a video on your home. And we're also going to have a professional photographer come in to highlight all of its best attributes. People like that. It feels good. It's like your home becomes a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. Actually,
yeah. And I see the same thing with our clients, especially in, whether it's on the coast in Florida, South Florida, whether it's in Southern California. One of the clients that really jumped out to me that I think does an outstanding job in the luxury market is here in San Diego, or not here, but there now in San Diego. I'm not there right now at the second, but so he's really good on professional photography in the sense that he does two things. Number one, he always does 2 sets of photographs. So one in the day at full sunlight, and then one at twilight. So like dusk or twilight photography, nighttime photography, that sort of thing. So basically, like your high-end listings will have some really nice landscaping. They always have really, really nicely lit front and backyards. So he'll have his photographer come there 2 different times to capture the home at different, points in time, and then figure out what looks the best and make sure that those photos, if there's, especially with a home that looks really fantastic at night because of the lighting and because of landscaping, then they'll feature those pictures on the MLS and on websites rather than the daytime ones. And what I've noticed is if you're scrolling through, Zillow or whatever, nighttime photography really stands out.
Oh, I agree.
So it catches the eye immediately. And so that's a big thing. It's been really successful for him. And then if he takes any luxury listing, he's always doing a full-on video tour. Same thing. I think they even come back twice and they get footage at both, in full sunlight and at night. So you're getting a video tour that shows really the lifestyle of the home, what it's like to live there, with the full 24 hours, what it looks like in both environments. And all of that stuff goes up online. And one of the things that I've noticed from other clients is they make sure that they get that property marketed overseas. And there's a specific website I wanted to give everybody. It's called Proxio.com. So it's Proxio.com. And this is a website that will, it's kind of like the Zillow of China, or international Zillow. So this website gets more traffic than Zillow and Trulia combined. And if you can sign up for as little as, looks like $10 a month, all the way up to $80 a month, just depending on how many, what type of package you want to look at and what kind of listings that you have to go up there. But that's something that's been really important for the clients that we have in California, because that's how they attract those international all cash buyers, China, Japan, India. They're coming in and just buying a property and putting down cash. So, and then they'll also run, if it's a unique property, they'll run Facebook ads targeting audiences in China or those other markets that are looking for homes of that type. So if you have like Greg, you live in an area with a lot of unique acreages, farm properties, stuff like that.
Yeah, we have farms are out there, but yeah, we have high-end properties with multiple acres and high density areas.
Yeah, I think I have properties too.
We do
around the Danville area. Yeah, so that would be a great example of a specific, like a unique niche kind of property that you can market overseas to people that are interested in those types of activities, whether it's acreages or whether they're interested in horses. You can follow and kind of pick your demographic interests and target them that way. That's some of the things that we're noticing working for clients. And then I ran into a gal here 2 months ago that's doing something really interesting that I wanted to point out to everybody. I'd like her to come on a future episode. but she's doing luxury real estate auctions for residential properties. So she'll come in, she'll partner up with an agent, and she will actually put the property up for auction and then send it out to all their network of international buyers. And then the agent has quite a bit less to do. You don't have to be as involved in the marketing. You're just the on the ground presence, and you're communicating directly with the seller client, and then facilitating anything that needs to be done in person. But you have like a partner in the listing to help you. And then basically the home just goes, they set a date, it goes on the auction block. There's no reserve. It sells for what it sells for. But because it's stuck, they'll kind of seed the process, and they'll seed it with investors that they know are going to make an offer to get the bidding started. So they've never had a home really sell for less than the true market value because of the way that they run the auctions. They're really good. So it's supreme-auctions.com, and I'll put that in the show notes.
That's awesome, man. We have the overseas one. We're actually going to be signing up for that today. We have a 4.9 and a $4.1 million listing. And the oxygen up there is a little thin on the buyer side. We're going to take it overseas immediately and go through those and help get those properties sold.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a guy that's he's in Hawaii, and that's one of the only ways they can get homes sold. I mean, it's so they have to market in the mainland, they have to market it in Southern California, Arizona, on the coast, China, Japan, India. Otherwise, the homes just they flat out don't sell. They're $5 or $10 million. In fact, in Hawaii specifically, he was saying that if the home isn't so high end, if it's old and it needs to be remodeled, there's actually more value in the land. You'd be better off knocking the home down and selling the land.
That's well, hey, that makes sense.
Hawaii real estate is, but yeah, it makes sense exactly. So I mean, it's really, really important if you do take a luxury listing, you go all out, get the best photography, get the best videography, because people are looking online. That's where they're going to fall in love with it. That's what's going to make them come, whether it's from overseas or not, out of state, out of town, whatever. They've got to be able to see it online and see that, okay, this is the cream of the crop.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more on that one, man. Photos are huge, lighting is huge, but how much we got? A couple more minutes on this thing, right? We want to go through objections really quickly.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, some of the best objections that I have been, objection handling techniques that I have been taught with through my father and everybody else, or when people say, "Well, I'm not gonna do this," one of the responses you have is, "I understand," or "I hear what you're saying," or "I can appreciate that." Others have. I can appreciate that, Matt. Other people have felt the same way. But the word "but" is never to be used. Matt, I can understand that, but now it's all of a sudden you're wrong, I'm right. You're just a silly buyer or seller, right? So a great kind of phrase here is this: I can appreciate that, and not but, and let me ask you a quick question, if I can. X would be why you're willing to do Y. So if I can help you sell your home, would you be willing to buy this next one? I can appreciate I can appreciate that, Matt. Let me ask a question. If I can help you negotiate the proper purchase price on this home here, would you be willing to sell your home over here? That is probably one of the easiest things to do. Objection handling, guys, and those are just brief ones. My father has taught me how to do this. It's asking questions consistently. It's going what we call 3 deep, and that's another way of not skimming. Skimming is just going over the surface of something like, oh, okay, that's great. Sorry that you don't like that. Bye. No, but it's like, Matt, help me understand, so I don't misunderstand your, why you don't want to move forward. And then it's like, oh, okay. So you're saying if it's pricing is what you're saying. Yeah, it's pricing. Okay, so if we can get the price to where it's acceptable for you, would you purchase the home? Well, yeah. Okay, fantastic. Let me work on the comps. I'll get back to you. It's just understanding their true motives. But that comes down to the fact of communication is critical. Now, here's a couple of fun stats that you might not know. When you're communicating with someone, only 7% of that communication are the actual words coming out of your mouth. 38% is the tone, and then 55% is your body language. So that's what it comes down to. The way you look, the way you're groomed. I mean, if you look like you just got out of bed and you're wearing jeans and in a torn up t-shirt and you're door knocking, not going to go so well for you.
Yeah.
You know what? If you're kind of put yourself together and you're out there and you're speaking with a nice soft tone and you're giving them what they need and not pushing them into anything, and you're going to be accepted much faster, because you being liked by any individual, personal or professional, you have between 1/10 of a second and 7 seconds for them to make the decision if they like you or don't. So in luxury, it's probably going to be more around a 10th. God, if I can talk, 1/10 of a second, because they got stuff to do.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Objections, give us a holler, man. If you guys want to learn more about them, we'll put together a sheet for you and get it out to you. If you want to know more, if you have some that would be good for us, I would love to learn yours. But it's just, like I said, it all comes down to understanding what your client wants and then facilitating it and asking the right questions.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And just want to point out, for everybody that doesn't know, so one of the reasons we do this is just to get Greg's name out there and let people know that he does do, one-on-one coaching. If you're looking to not just break into the luxury market, but just, take your business to another level. If you're looking to be more successful, do more deals, work with more clients. So whether it's, individual or in a group, whatever the format is, if you're interested in coaching to get better, to increase your lifestyle, to do more deals, more transactions, just get a hold of Greg. Greg, what's the best way to reach out and connect with you?
You know what? Let's probably my phone number. I'll give you guys my cell. You can text me, you can call me. Phone number is 925-915-1978. So again, 925-915-1978. Shoot me a call, shoot me a text. Let's communicate, get this party started. I had a chance to talk to a woman by the name of Nancy this morning. For about an hour and change. She had found me on YouTube. And if you guys Google me on YouTube, you'll know that everything I do, I ask for, hey, guys, give me a call. I'll be happy to help. She hit me up and she's all fired up. I think she's on this right now. So Nancy, if you hear, how's it going? But we were able to communicate, and I was able to give her tips and tricks and tools that were either free or very low cost, that can put a high, and some ideas that will put some fire into her business. And it's not rocket science, guys. There's a couple, never mind. We'll talk about it when you call me. How's that?
Yeah. And for those that, if you're curious, all these events are recorded. So we're actually going to email out the replay recording so you can go back through it. And if you need to slow things down and kind of write down some of the objection handlers and scripts that Greg gave out, I would highly recommend that, because there's some awesome stuff in there. But then also in that email, there's a link where you can just book a time right on Greg's calendar to speak to him if you'd rather do that. So with that, I think we will wrap this episode up. We're looking forward to the next one. We're going to have on a very special guest for the next Hangout coming up next week. We've got Aaron Wittenstein from, if anybody's familiar with there's a Facebook group called, I believe it's the Lead Scripts and Objections. It's the Facebook page that he runs. I think it's got about 10,000 followers, so some of you may already be members. This is somebody that I ran across here about a couple months ago, and we've been looking for a way to kind of get him involved, and he's going to be appearing on the show with us next week to talk about scripts. So he gets all kinds of feedback, all kinds of questions from agents all over the country. A lot of people exchanging the best scripts and the best objection handlers on his Facebook page. So he's going to bring some of that content to us. It's going to be awesome.
That's epic, dude. I am so pumped about this. I'm so pumped about this. Anyone who knows me, I love doing research. I love to find the best stuff out there, and Aaron's gonna make it rain.
Yep, it's gonna be awesome. So we'll send out details on that next week as we get closer. So keep an eye on that, and otherwise, let's wrap it up.
All right, hey guys, thanks so much. You have been awesome, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.